Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. So today we're going back to our build around series. So we're trying to find specific units and building an entire list focused around optimizing that one unit. So today we've gone for something that's a little bit, a little bit more surprising. We've gone for Crosshair. So in the other ones we've looked at, it's been sort of very obvious sort of how to build around it, and there's a couple of obvious things that go with Crosshair as well. Namely, those are going to be things like jailbreak and snaring, so immobilizing enemy units. And the way that Crosshair works is that she'll always crit if she was in play and her target didn't move last turn. So things to bear in mind with this: it doesn't work with Astra. Crosshair needs to be in play. You can't just bring it in, surprise them, and take them out with no warning whatsoever, which is I think a good balanced choice in my opinion. But what it does do is basically incentivizes you to play movement shenanigans. So some of the things that we've got to play around that, like we said, jailbreak immobilizes touching rivals, snaring hits them, immobilizes for a turn. That's the sort of the straight up immobilize, they can't move, we get to do our thing. But there's a few more things we can add to that as well. So Zax Jakar, one of the things that Zax does is places sleeper mines. So what we're going to look at doing is potentially just finding ways of blocking units in place. So we want to find a way of sticking them in a corner, making sure they can't get out, and then they are effectively immobilized, even if they don't have the keyword. Gravity Disc helps towards that end as well. So if you've got like a few things, pull them all together, just sort of what's referred to in like 40k as tri-pointing them. So if you get 3 models around them or 2 on a side or something like that, they can't move without dealing with one of those models. So we want to sort of set that situation up. We've also got Peacemaker Ballum. So I've used Peacemaker Ballum a few times recently, and I'm quite enjoying it as a unit. And it's just two Cinder to stun all crew in a small AoE, but it's got quite a long range. And if they're stunned, they haven't moved. So that is absolutely what we're going to try and look to do. Taria Arsenal is in here because Taria Arsenal can give Crosshair rapid fire. So that puts Crosshair up to 12 damage instead of... Because I think crits, I'm not 100% sure, but I think crits are... In fact, I've never worked this out. I've never actually looked. I know crits do extra damage, but is it double damage? Is it 1 extra damage? I don't actually know the answer. I need to work that up. Either way, Taria means that she'll crit twice. I'm going to have to try and keep an eye on that in this video. Amplify Bytol gives her the ability to just do extra damage, and therefore crits will probably do more damage. And then we've got a couple of other options in here. So Torian Guardian is in here. So what we've done is actually... I'm going back to be happy about my little amateur paint schemes. So this is Torian Guardian with sort of my fire-based, Phoenix-based paint scheme. And then I've gone for Beatrice Enforcer with an ice-based theme as well. So I've tried to go for to fire and ice for my defensive units. And then these two, what we want to do is basically put them at the front and make it really hard for them to work through our defences. And that will hopefully help to do so. And then we've also got in here, Florio Lancer is in here sort of like a secondary, almost a win con, but if we've got a lot of things that help with movement, this will help, deal some damage in that area, sort of make things a little bit easier for us. And then lastly, a little bit of an odd pick for some people might think is Ursix Scattervine, but the reason we've gone for this is we were talking earlier about tri-pointing and getting 3 models around 1 model to stop it from moving anywhere. Well, 3 models can be 3 Ursix Scattervines. If we just got enough Cinder, we just keep playing them in place, and regardless of what they do, they're never going to be able to get past it if they don't have enough damage to kill them all in a row. On top of that, we're going to be looking for assists. Probably stun is going to be one that we're looking out for quite a lot. Movement-based ones as well, so probably not as much stim burst, but more things along the lines of vortex or disruptor beam are going to be useful as well. And then just even things like ion storm, because if we're trying to put multiple units around them, if they can't kill those units, that's not going to go very well for them. So we've unlocked our second animation for the enter here. So this is pretty nice. We haven't got Broken Vengeance in, which is a shame, because it would be nice to see our legendary animation here. It's also kind of disappointing you can't see the rarities from this screen. So you have to go in here, see that common. I wonder if we've got any uncommon. I don't think we actually have any of these as rare yet. So this is our list. We've made a little banner. It's very similar to our Furia one, but this one got a black and a different style of banner. And so what we're going to do is take this into some PvP and see if we can get some big crits and potentially work out how crits work as well, because I can't believe I've not actually sat there and worked that out, but let's give it a go. So this all looks good here. I can't see anything missing. Let's give it a go. So we're continuing this series. We are going to work around a few. So I've got a couple of other ideas already as things people would like to see lists built around. One I'm going to be working on at some point is specifically a Scattervine deck, Scattervine list. I've got some interesting ideas for that as well. But for now, let's just see what we can do. I mean, we've drawn Crosshair. That's always a good start. So it's a really good starting hand. So we've got Invulnerable, we've got Stun. Stun and Medical Recall seems reasonable because we probably do want to keep things alive. They've got a Zax, so Zax is going to make it so that they can move things when we don't want them to. So Crosshair is going to be a lot more difficult to get use out of. I think Stun is going to be useful, but I think Plink and Ion's probably more useful. Let's go Plink and Ion. It's more of a sort of generic one, but I feel sometimes that this is just going to win games. And if they have Blink, we can counteract the Blink. So they're blinking us, yeah. We'll just blink them. This is all fine. We're not expecting anything. Oh, have they got a Maximus probably? This is kind of Maximus, Talali. What else are the 1-drops? Antios Gauntlet, I guess. So if they're playing a 1-drop, we're probably pinging the 1-drop rather than them. It is Maximus. Unsurprising. So we actually want to save our Cinder. Come on, can we just move? There we go. A little bit closer in and pass the turn. So this gives us 3 next turn. There's nothing here particularly useful to play for 3, so we're going to save that again and have a 6-mana turn. And we could potentially play, say, Scattervine and something else. I'm also tempted to look at playing Peacemaker Balam, but Crosshair I think is the one that we're going to be focusing on. Get that out as early as possible and just get things started. So they've not played anything else. They've saved their Cinder up. So 3 here. Do we play 1 or do we save it? I like it got a boomerang from Subnautica, and that was a biter. Nice. I think we're going to save the Cinder. Question is, do we move a bit further back and just try and take a pot shot at the same time? The difficulty here is I don't know if we can do this and stay out of range of their Zax. Whereas here I think we might be able to. So I think we just stay here for this turn and consider doing it next turn. So this is a very slow start. We didn't actually look too much at our curve, so we had 1, 2, 3 2-drops. That's not too unreasonable. No 1-drops, but that's fine. We weren't building towards them on this occasion. Okay, so they're going to Plink. I wouldn't be surprised if they start using Plink to heal. Okay, what are they playing here? Because depending on what they play, there's a good chance that we sort of move down here, make it hard for them to get to us, a little bit harder for them, and then we can still maybe Plink their Crankbait. Okay, I just don't really care about Crankbait. Like, ever? I used to really like Crankbait, but I think unless you're playing something like Extilior or something specifically along those lines, I'm just not worried by it. So I think can we get to a position where we get a decent line of sight over that way? No, we can't. So in that case, let's just get over here, take a minimally, in fact, no. I actually think we stay here and we just play probably Taurian Guardian or Peacemaker Balam. In fact, Peacemaker Balam's really good. So let's just place that over here. They don't have enough damage to deal with it yet. Still going to Plink here. And then I think I'm going to Vortex because they could potentially go for a lot of damage next turn. And I don't want that to be the case. What I'm trying to do here is set up a situation where I can use Peacemaker Balam to stun a unit. And then once I've stunned it, I can play Crosshair and knowing that I can get the crit the following turn. So they can move it with Zax, but that's a tax of 2 Cinder every turn. Yeah, so if they pull here, that's fine. They can't pull Zax. I don't know if they want to pull Peacemaker Balam. Zax is going to... But again, the reduced accuracy is actually a big issue for them here. Yeah. So we can actually stun a unit, ping another one, play Crosshair, and only really be facing down 2 damage next turn. Yep, so this is what we thought was going to happen with them healing Maximus on a regular basis. We're very close to actually being able to stun both of them with Peacemaker Balam. I mean, that mine we're just going to probably ignore. So if we go here, like this is a risk, but We can get both of them. Let's play... We're going to play a Crosshair probably over here. We're going to risk letting our Spore Puffy person... So if we go over here... I'm trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. I think here we do want to hit onto their Maximus and then force them to use their Plink to heal him. They got plinked with what looks like a battery from Subnautica, maybe a power cell. Interesting. I love the Subnautica references. So here, the interesting thing about this is probably the wrong choice. It's 2 damage to everything. They can potentially kill our Peacemaker Balam, which is fine. But I don't think that's right, because if they don't plink it, then it lives. And if they do plink it, Maximus dies and we get our big crits onto Crankbait. So I think this is a really tough choice for them. They have to decide between leaving our units alive or dead. And if they start playing other things out, that's absolutely fine. So we need to look at what our follow-up plan is. It's probably Taurian Guardian. That's an interesting position. So they're probably playing something up here. Yeah. And they are going for the... See, the Plink heal's also not that good because we can just potentially kill it. Okay, I don't think that was correct unless they've got something else here. Ah, Orbital. Okay, yeah, that's brutal. For some reason, I thought I'd already seen their second ability, but I guess not. So what are they playing? So we can potentially take out one of their units and get close to damaging Crankbait. Oh, Tipu though. So here's the question is, how does crit work on these? So this says 48% crit because it's a 48% hit chance. So Tipu's going to be an issue. So I think we're actually going to need Taurian Guardian over here. So let's start with this. 91% chance to crit. So it's 3 base. So the crit takes us to... Oh my god, really? Well, that was fun while it lasted. I can't believe that just happened. What I want to do here actually is trap Tipu in while still making Crosshair the nearest unit. There we go. I'm also going to put that up. And then I'm also going to sleeper mine here. Because what I want to do is here is essentially... Oh, we're not actually tri-pointed. So Tipu can move. So that's inconvenient. I wouldn't be surprised if Tipu hits the mine, but... They can pull things away. Yeah, I don't... That miss is brutal, because that would have also been our ability to find out how much damage things did. Oh, no. I mean, sure, it's fine here, but this is an inconvenience for us. Yep, Tipu's growing. So now dealing with Tipu is going to be the issue. They've got 60% chance here. It was a miss. Good. I'd imagine the same sort of thing happens over here. But if I were them, I'd be shooting Crosshair, trying to plink it down. I think that was the wrong choice. Yep, they're going to put us all to our mines. So mines versus Zax in general, I was having this discussion the other day, is usually just a bad idea. So if they plink here, then they've got us dead to rights, which is a shame. That miss is probably the saddest I've been in a while in this game, because 91%. I actually missed my first 99% chance shot the other day, and that didn't feel as sad as that did because I was trying to get this to work. So, you know what, let's go over here. Can we... Let's move... Let's just get Zax over here for now. I don't know if we can actually get him into a decent position where we can Ion Storm everyone except him. No. So I think we actually have to Ion Storm and risk our own Taurian Guardian not hitting. So this was a mistake. But we'll go for the 60% hit. We got it, and they missed. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to play Ursix Scattervine. Scattervine is going to grow a new one over here. Attack with the first one. Die on the backswing. Grow a new one just where that one was. Attack with this one. Okay, they miss. Perfect. So here we're going to plink and then attack. So this should kill it. There we go. Excellent. And I guess we just stick a range attack. 87% chance. Move over here. And down here. There we go. That'll do. So it's a reasonable start to a comeback. We're still in a lot of trouble. They've got Plink and Orbital. Orbital was fantastic versus Scattervine, so we're going to need to start moving them apart. And they've got more units available than us, but we've got more mana sinks and more damage available than they do. So swings and roundabouts here, I think. I mean, whatever they do with this, we're just probably ignoring it, or even just pulling it into their own unit, depending on how far Crankbait goes. I'm more worried about what they spend, on their Cinder, what comes from their bridge. If this is like a jailbreak, I mean, Chuck and Co's just as awkward with armor. Yeah, I don't know if we've got any means of coming back into this, but let's give it a shot and see what we can do. Because again, it depends on their damage output. We've got more damage output at the moment, but Chuck and Co actually does a lot versus this list. That is not a choice I'd have made. I guess they're trying to keep Zax away from things. I was saying, like, keep things away from Zax to stop protecting him. But I'm pretty sure we can just throw plants at Chuck and Go and not even attack them. Just sort of sit there and be bodies. So what do we want to draw? I'm just upset that our Crosshair died as well. That was a... So we're obviously drawing first. We've got Tari Arsenal, so that's not unreasonable. We'll go for the hit here, because it's just free damage. And they missed, which is excellent. So can we Gravity Disc these together? No. So what I'm thinking I might want to do is just bring a couple of these over. So luckily Zax pushes back when we hit. So we can do this and move over to here, say. There's still a turn away from Orbital. We can grow over here. And honestly, I think if we go over here and just protect a little bit, I think for now we actually have to start healing our Zax back up. So this turn is a very bad setup versus Orbital, but the point is we're trying to set it up so that in future turns we're not as vulnerable to other things. So next turn we are just going to be splitting up as much as possible. We're kind of hoping that Crankbait does that for us for Taurian Guardian. Yeah, that's fine. Like, it doesn't protect a Scattervine. I'm not too worried about that. So this could be a series of 2 damage, which is fine. I don't think we're actually going to take enough for it to be a real issue, and it just means Zax is now free to start running away a bit more. We didn't have a good positioning to pull this mine into their units this turn. So what are they doing here? Are they considering moving Zax to try and get out Chuck and Go? Zax can hit something, then toss it, and yeah, this is fine. Can't believe we left a big gap open. Sure, and then if he moves and pulls us in, he damages 2 of them. Yeah, whatever. Like, that's not something I'm particularly worried about. He's going to start rushing us down, but like I said, we're going to be plinking ourselves back to health now. So we lose 1 of them. 2 health on our captain. But I don't think we're out of this by any means here. It's the fact that they've got more units and... Oh no, it's the Orbital's going to get us, actually, come to think of it. I think we're losing the Orbital race, especially with something coming down here. Okay, so that's a problem. So what I might actually need to do is try and kill this. So if I come here first and just shoot it. Okay, so it didn't quite get where I needed to. So we can Gravity Disc these 2 together. In fact, with Orbital coming, this is just going to be brutal for us. So, grow 1 over here. Get our hits in. And then we're just going to spread out a bit. I thought we actually had 1 more. I think I've messed this up royally because we're taking 4 possibly more next turn, so we are going to just hit Zax here, and what we're going to do is just stick ourselves in front of Chuck and Co slightly. We're in range of their ability, but that's fine. I don't see any reason to attack, it doesn't do any damage. I think this is where we lose to Orbital. So we only need to take 2 additional damage, so if Zax can get 2 damage onto our Zax, they win the game. 90%. We failed our 91, but they can pass theirs. It is a sad occasion. Orbital and Blink, and we are dead. I don't think we had Ion Storm last turn. If we did, I should have used that. That could have potentially saved us there. So that didn't go to plan. Missing that 90%, if it is double damage on a crit, that would have been enough for Crosshair to kill Crankbait, and that changes the whole game because Taurian Guardian could have stayed nearer where we needed to. So let's try another one, see what we can get done. I actually quite like the list still. It doesn't work well against Zax. Zax is absolutely the best captain of the 3 to deal with it, because what Zax can do is literally just press a button, spend 2 Cinder, and avoid all of our Crosshair damage. So, okay, Extilior's a little bit better. We've got ways of dealing with him. Now, assists. This should be interesting. Plus, Extilior versus Zax is hard for Extilior in general a lot of the time, unless they get something like our... Okay, we are going second. We've got a Fire and Ice combo. But yeah, unless they get something like Quetzali out. So, Disruptor and Corrosive Particles looks really nice here. Stun works with what we need it to, and Iron Storm as well. Let's go with Stun. It's one we said we wanted to try out. So what we want to do here is get Beatrice and Torian out and just hold that front line. You just literally, I've played on this map before where I've stuck Beatrice in this little gap here with Torian just behind, and watching people trying to find their way through that, especially with something that heals like a Plink or a Stitchy McPatchy or something like that. Beatrice just stands there and doesn't really care. So versus Extilior in general, she's got armor, so she's already only going to be taking 2 damage from the spin. She's only going to be taking 1 damage from his melee attack, and on top of that as well, his melee attacks can have a 40% chance to miss if we have Taurian Guardian behind her. So realistically, it's about 2.5 damage a turn, and she's got 7 health, so it's going to take them 3 turns and 6 Cinder with Extilior alone just to fight through Beatrice, and that's not counting the damage that she'd be able to do back. So that's the situation we want to set up. We basically want to, because they have to come to us, we want to basically make a couple of chokeholds, so maybe one here or one here, and force them to have to sort of come through an area that we can choose to defend quite well. With them going that way, I'm probably going to set up shop over here. So we can get line of sight, which is exactly what we'll do. It's not a high chance. Nope, and that's fine. We'll save our Cinder. They don't have any way of giving things charge with Extilior, so because it's only Astra that can do that at the moment. Okay, so they're still in line of sight, and they're probably going to play a unit here for 3 Cinder. I'm hoping like a Maximus, but that's obviously not 3 Cinder. So Crankbait can disrupt our little plan, but I don't really mind about that at all. I think we still actually play Beatrice, because if something's going to get disrupted... So that's now 11% chance. Is there a better option? In fact, no. Is there a better option while staying safe from Crankbait? And I actually think no. So we can take the 11%. No. Move back here. And then when we play Beatrice, we're actually going to play her slightly behind. So about here. So that when they pull, they have to sort of go for an awkward angle to try and pull her out. Still really happy with that. It feels like it needs a little more definition, especially around the helmet and some of the armor joints. So that's something I'm going to look at doing. I'm currently trying to decide between going darker or lighter, but that's something I want to do. So they're all melee so far, so maybe they're trying something similar to we did. Level 4 accounts, so they've had a few games under their belt, but not massively so. I think we'll stick with our game plan, just playing Taurian Guardian out. I'm kind of thinking that they're... Oh, to be fair, they've now moved away with Crankbait. So I don't know if we even need Taurian Guardian yet. I think we're actually better just playing out a... whatever that is, Taurian Arsenal. So can we get anything less than 40 for 1? No, let's just take the pot shot, 1 in 5. We got it. We're bound to get some occasionally. We can play Scattervine, but I don't think that's what we want to do. Although the thing with Scattervine is we could actually place it here and protect things, but I think it's very unlikely. We should potentially be moving Beatrice out, but I like our defensive position. The reason I chose Tari Arsenal is because we have some range units and they don't. This can help us deal with things before they get close to us. So things like Crankbait moving back here. This to me screams orbital. So I'm thinking we probably need to spread out for next turn. Because they haven't played anything, so this is likely an orbital and corrosive setup. So I'm probably going to move Tara Arsenal up here and try and shoot over there. Beatrice a bit forward, Zach's down the bottom. We've got our stun if we need it. So let's do exactly that first. We're going to spend some Cinder here because we've only got a 4-cost unit that we want to deploy, and I think here, actually, what's our chance to hit? 28. So yes, we could get a hit here. 28% twice. 1 would be nice. No, that's fine. Beatrice. So Beatrice can get pulled. So I think Beatrice actually kind of just stays there, and then Zax just runs away as far as possible. But maybe if we can get a good line of sight as well. 19, 0, 0, so 1 in 5. This is all fine. And then Torian Guardian, again, only because we're worried about Orbital, is going to go as far down here as possible. But we will consider bringing them back together if Orbital doesn't happen. I don't think she's in range of anyone else. So yeah. I think they probably know, looking at our positioning, that this is what we're doing. Avoiding the Orbital. So if I were them, I'd just fire it off, especially if you can get 2 units in at once. But it's not a given. Yeah, there's a lot of different factors in here. So here it looks like they're going to try and pull Torian Guardian, which is absolutely fine. We sort of accounted for that as a possibility because, again, if they attack, we attack back for more. They might miss. There's not really anything here that can deal with her immediately. So again, with this, we can hit and we can run behind the wall. It makes it a lot harder for them to deal with us. And we can keep getting damage off on Crankbait while they can't get it back off on us as easily. Okay, so here's Quetzali. This is where things change, so they can now run at us and deal some damage. I believe they should be able to get... Oh, they're just out of range. Maybe if they sneak up a little... Yeah, I think Extilion needs to move over here, and then Blindsider Esli can probably just move in here and then around if they need to. But this is where their plan comes in. So next turn, they can't even get in range. They've blocked themselves off. If they go for this hit here, that's a mistake. But we're going to do it on the backswing. This is going to be their orbital. Oh, Vortex. So Vortex orbital. Okay, they didn't get anything off. So we're going to reduce the accuracy of all of these. Take our free melee attack where we can. Move over here. I actually think we stun Extilior. Taria Arsenal can get some good shots off over here, so let's just go. Let's go here. So we've only got Scattervine, so I think we draw first. We've got Jailbreak, which is fine for future turns. We don't need it now. We are going to just improve her accuracy herself, and again go for 2 shots on Esli. Got one this time, which is nice. Beatrice is going to move over here. So Torian Guardian can't really be pulled into anything too dangerous, but can definitely still be pulled. 33 is the best we've got here. So let's just take it. There we go, we've got the hit, perfect. So we're now moving into them. So they might have Orbital here, but given they didn't use it last turn after Vortexing, it might have been they run out of time, but I think it's probably Medical Recall or something like that. Yeah, there we go, Medical Recall. So I'm not as worried about their abilities anymore. Extilio can't move. They've had to hide Blindsider Esli away, which is probably going to be played out back over here, I imagine. But then we've got a very good chance of dealing some damage to Crankbait and taking that out without even having to worry about it. And Quetzali is only good for dealing with Extilio and giving Extilio a bit of extra boost at this point. So here we're just going to take free movement where we can, play it safe, build up our late game plans. We probably are going to be drawing another unit with Cinder this turn because we don't need Scattervine or Jailbreak. Again, Scattervine's fine, but not as good versus Extilior, the model. Fine against the list, but not against the model. Yep, Estily's back. But yeah, because we don't have to be worried about Orbital anymore, I feel a lot safer. So, we've got nothing here that can hit, so where can we get to that can? Basically, the only thing we can hit is going to be Extilior. So, let's just go with that straight away. 50%, it's not too bad. What about over here? So we can get... So Crankbait's going to be able to pull us no matter what if we stay anywhere near there. So let's just go with a low % chance to hit over terrain. Yeah, we missed, that's fine. And we're going to try and move behind things slightly where we can. Kind of misplayed here slightly. Let's draw a unit, see what we get. Snarling is something we wanted to see. So Snarling coming back here. And also the fact they don't know we've got that is pretty unfortunate for them. I think that's everything we can do. So again, they're not in a bad spot, but I think we're in a better spot. Because they can only move so far. They can pull... Oh, we've left Taria Arsenal exposed. Okay, that was a mistake. Yeah, so she's going to die. But that was absolutely a mistake on my part, because now their whole party can come in one by one, take her out. So yeah, that was actually quite a big mistake, because she's one of our better range units. I thought we'd had her tucked behind slightly. I forgot about the Crankbait pull. So Extilior can then move over here, then move over there. But then again, I suppose that does put them out in the open slightly. Have they just blocked themselves off from melee attacking as well? Yeah, that's not the best positioning I've ever seen. If Quetzali moves, there's a world in which you might be able to move Quetzali over to here, Extilior around to there, and then round again. And that way they can kill Taria. But otherwise, Taria might actually live here, which is not their intention. So this is where an orbital would be good for us. So now, this is why we're probably going to keep drawing towards Florio Lancer. Did they just accidentally... Yeah, I think they just accidentally Sword of Justice as well and used all their Cinder. Oh, okay, yeah, no, they didn't. It wasn't accidental. It was to get the extra damage on blindsiding. Okay, that works. Yep, they've killed us there. That is fine. So we're going to keep on reinforcing. There we go. We've got Florio for next turn. So Jailbreak is going to be something we want to get out. But I think now we just focus on building our little wall back up. So this is the wall we want. We're going to go for a long shot on blindsider. We did get the hit, perfect. And then we're going to go for... Again, we're staying behind terrain as and when we can, so that we don't get pulled by Crankbait. I don't know if we need to place anything else out here. They're still playing very defensive. I mean, we could just place a Sleeper Mine, because we're wasting Cinder if we don't. But everything else, I'm fine with. So, yeah, they can... Oh, of course. I am playing into every single one of our own minds. I'm living up to the Zach's law phenomenally well. Oh, dear. Zax is going to kill himself with mines on a regular basis. But oh well. So, I'm not really sure where we go from here, because until they either play a healer or we find an ability to get Florio out and launching shots every turn, I think we're in a bit of a weird spot. So I imagine they're going to go aggressive next turn, sort of set up a 2-turn, charge basically, move Quetzali up, move other units up, and then sort of try and get to us over 2 turns, or just really... Oh, they're trying to get Quetzali out from being stuck. Okay, this is weird. I feel like we just need to get Florio Lancer out, hide him at the back, and start bombarding this turn after turn. Which is exactly what we're going to aim to do. So if we stick... So Taurian Guardian can't quite get behind is the issue. So I kind of want Beatrice to be here so she can't be pulled as easily. Taurian can't get behind, but can go here and stay in line of sight. Which does also... So where's the range for Bombard? So it's a little out, so probably just going to use Gravity Disc and try and pull... Oh, but Florio doesn't... So the Bombard range is... So we're just out at the moment, but next turn we can just Gravity him in if we need to. Let's just Gravity him forwards now anyway. And sure, we lose Beatrice and Taurian Guardian having that synergy, but I think the positioning is more important here. And then I don't know if we even want to use our Ion Storm. I mean, it does hit a bunch of stuff, but it's nowhere near us. And our front line is not anything they want to hit anyway. So let's just stay with this. They can still Vortex. You know, we're not happy about our mine positioning. 6 damage from our own mine is not pleasant. But starting next turn, we can just bombard every single turn, and we're going to do so. Our aim now is going to be keep Florio safe more than anything else. So he's going at the back. We're going to be stunning units that can get near him, that sort of thing. So we're going to focus first on Blindside or Estley because it's the most damage, other than Extilio, who's obviously the game plan. And that's how we're going to be trying to get to this point. Yeah, reducing the damage there is absolutely right, because they should know it's coming. What have we got coming next? Again, I think Quetzali has not done much for them, because they've just sort of shuffled around the same half of the board. They are moving everything up here, and what we're hoping is that they'll go for like a one flank attack, and again, Beatrice and Taurian Guardian are very good in that situation. Tipu is going to be something that doesn't do much, which does imply that Bombard is about here that we want to go. Still haven't drawn Crosshair. We've got Crosshair, Bytol, and Balam left, all of which are very good here, actually. So this should be Maximus, yeah. They're going to run out of time, I think. Okay. So, what sort of Bombard can we get? Those two is a good one. Honestly, I think that's probably just what we go for. We could potentially go here, but I'm not as worried about Chuck and Co. So let's just go for this as our Bombard. Brilliant. Florio can move back slightly. Zax can Zax get a good line of sight on what are they called? Blindside or Estley. So it's minus 17%, although I'm not sure why. Let's just go for that. See what happens here. We got it. Perfect. So here we're going to use our range attack. Try and keep Chuck and Co down. And we've got the crit as well, which is great. So we can stay out of range of that fairly easily and just sort of hold this line. Crankbait can pull us, but that's fine. This is kind of what we were wanting to set up anyway, as long as we're not too close to there. I say we stun Extilio here. And probably, again, just draw more, because Balam again. I don't think we want to do anything else here. I think this is exactly what we want to do. No, Gravity Disc this way. I want to make sure I'm hidden as far away from Crosshair, not Crosshair, Crankbait as possible. Oh no, didn't we kill Crankbait? Yeah, we killed Crankbait. This is fine. Yeah, that's not going to help him. But you can move other things up this route. We wouldn't mind if they do, actually, because then being able to bring Beatrice in and actually be relevant. I don't remember what Beatrice's range is the problem when she attacks someone behind it. So yeah, so Extilio comes up here. Again, this is what we want to set up. 44%, but she has armor. 30%, but we don't. Yep. So now Maximus is sat in the middle. Again, this is a Florio location. Florio bombards this next turn. Tipu's going to be running away, probably round a corner. But dealing with what's in front of us, and also getting Snareling to attack Maximus is so important here. Ooh, Toxoid. Okay, so now we kind of want to bombard the back line. So how close are we? We're quite close to just being in range of that. So if they don't move again, we're actually probably just going to bombard the back. Yeah, that's correct choice there. So now we bombard the front. And just sort of try and hold things up a little. Because Extilio's stuck for this turn. Maybe we should have played Peacemaker. Oh no, we couldn't play Peacemaker Balam, that was it. Okay, so here we're going to use our our ion field, reduce all that accuracy. The bombard can get 2 units there, 2 units there. So there's no world in which we get 3. So we might as well just actually bombard the front line. See if we can line up a situation where we'd hit something behind it, but it doesn't look like we would. That would only be 1 damage. So Snarling needs to hit something, and I think we'd like if that was Maximus, because not only does Maximus have frustration there, but it also blocks Extilior as well. So then we can throw this up here, just get a pot shot. No, didn't work, but that's fine. Torian Guardian, just, I guess, just move, stay there actually. So we can go for an attack here, or we can just go for Peacemaker Balam, which is, I think, our better option. Their Vortex is going to be an issue, but again, I think we've slowed down the game to the point that they're going to struggle to get to us. Both Tipu and Toxoid are going to be an issue, but they're running very slowly towards a Florio Lancer. And I think with Beatrice at the front line here, Maximus unable to move, blocking off their own Extilior, and a reduced accuracy all round, I think this is going to be very, very hard for them to chew through this turn. We've all got the same number of units left, but we're in a... we've built our fortress. This is what we wanted to do. So, Quetzali gives them... I mean, this is fine if they want to do that. They probably toss us, but... Yeah, so now they can get the spin into both. That's fine. Because they can Vortex as well, so they can move... Extilior likely... They can't move... Extilior's still blocked. Oh, that is brutal, so now he's just stuck there. So next turn, Snarling is going to be the one trying to block that. These are probably getting triple bombarded, if not bombarding this route. Tipu's still scary, but we're not worried. Go on, place another unit. Oh, so they recalled Crankbait. That would be why. I didn't remember killing Crankbait. I was like, I don't see him on the battle, or her on the battlefield. Where's the Vortex? This is a weird Vortex, if that's the case. It's just pulling us all away from them, and that's what we want. So so let's just Florio Lancer this. Yeah, just... In fact, let's move Torian Guardian here. Get that bit of defensive buff. Zax can come up and try and... So, the issue here is basically Quetzali... Oh, I've got the stuns now. So, Snarling kind of wants to kill Maximus. We're going to risk... Okay, it died. Didn't do anything. So, that's kind of a big deal here, because we don't have enough to kill up there now. So, I think what we have to do is just place a Sleeper Mine down here, get our range attack onto Maximus this way, and run back slightly, and then Peacemaker Balam can come over here and Spore Puff Chuck and Co. Florio can move back slightly, sure. Again, they're just having to walk into us slowly. They've got nothing coming in. We haven't even got to our key unit. Yep, Tipu's going back and getting healed. But none of this is ranged, so everything that we've seen of them has been melee so far. Oh, did we leave them exposed? Oops. I forgot about Crankbait again. I stopped playing around it. So yeah, we've lost our Snarling now, which is bad news. But again, this is all... Yeah, Toxoid has to move again because of Florio. So they're having to run away from us in a list where they want to be in our face. And we haven't got to Crosshair yet, which is what we're hopefully going to draw next turn. It's Crosshair or Amplified Bytol, both of which work. If it's Bytol, we can just kill Chuck and Co. with Beatrice. If it's Florio, then we've got some other stuff to worry about. Not Florio, Crosshair we can just play over a couple of turns. So Tipu's back. We've got one more turn to stun as well. So we're grinding out all of their units bit by bit. See, this here makes me very inclined to try and take out Toxoid. Or at least stun him with Peacemaker Balam. So let's see what we get. If we get Amplified Vital, okay, Crosshair. So that makes Florio want to come. Can we get both? Here we go. So we've got both going over here. That is fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just basically set up our little fortress again, but a little bit further back. Florio can just move back again. Can we get Zax in a position to get a good shot off on anyone without being crankbaited? So it's 21 there. I think that's a risk. So let's go with 31 and just take the pot shot here. I guess we just move back here. Oh, in fact, with Vortex, we could actually be putting ourselves at risk here. So they're running low on units, but Toxoid doesn't actually damage Beatrice or this. So if Quetzali moves up, can they even make forward progress with Toxoid? I don't know if they even can. I think this might even just be too much for them. Oh no, because yeah, Quetzali can move up, Crankbait can move up and then pull something in. Because yeah, if Crankbait moves up and then maybe pulls Quetzali, that could work. Although not hugely, it's not going to go in the right direction. I think we've got, this is a very long game, but we're not trying to rush it, we're trying to draw it out. We want this to go long. Yep, this is fine. So if you miss here, you die. Yep, there we go. That was a risk. And now they don't want to attack, because then it's a maybe 1 damage for guaranteed 3 damage. I think they're in a very tough spot here. I think we're going to grind out all their units bit by bit. Especially if we then bring in Peacemaker Balam to start stunning them. Okay, so this is where Florio's going to try and move up to. Yep. So Florio's going to bombard this location. So just get that going for now. Might as well get our big melee hit in here. And then I think we actually move back over this way. Now, can we get this in range of anything useful? No. So I think for that, we kind of just move over here. We can Scattervine for the super late game as well a bit later on. So Tipu's a scary one, so let's just nullify their damage. Their Crankbait's gone over there, so let's just... Crankbait's all the way up there, actually, so... Go for a range attack up here with 52. There's a miss, but that's fine. They have got Vortex, but we can just, I guess... I almost think playing Scattervine could be right, but I don't think we need to yet. I think we'd rather just... Let's... I don't know who to stun. Let's stun Exilio. Because what I'm hoping is that we can still chip down the rest of their units. So they can still bring things up here, have a fight with us, but we're in a good position to deal with some of these. So they can potentially grow a Tipu a bit, but if they grow Tipu, they die in the backswing. We've got 4 units left in reserve, they've got 2. So this can basically move over here and then pull something in. Both of their units can then move up onto it, but then following it up with... Ooh, they're going for Florio. Okay, yeah, Florio dying is a big deal. That makes a big difference. They're just playing the shuffle game. Yeah, no, this could be big. But they kind of want to get Tipu in. This doesn't necessarily do enough. And they missed because of the reduced accuracy. Oh no. And if they group up, then Florio just kills things. That reduced accuracy is so big for us there. Yeah, so Tipu can potentially move all the way in. They don't have medical recall yet, so if we can kill Tipu, that's a big deal. So that's their Torian Guardian. Keeping Florio alive is the big question here. So we can get 6 damage down here. Yeah, so they've gone for another all melee list, kind of like we did before. And it turned out for us that wasn't the right choice. And it doesn't look like it's for them either. Vortex for 2 damage, sure. Okay, so bombarding here just seems like a free choice because we could just kill 2 units. No, I missed. I literally just misclicked. Oops. So we'll kill that. I can't believe I just misclicked that. That is not my finest hour, let's be honest. So I guess Peacemaker Balor moves up here. Here. Stopping Tipu would be actually the dream. I guess we take a quick detour for a pot shot. What? How is that not in range? Not in line of sight? I don't understand that. Fine, we'll just shoot something over here. And then we're going to play Crosshair. Crosshair's going to go over here. I still can't believe we left Florio stuck with Beatrice not being able to attack, because that is unbelievably silly. But at least we stopped Tipu here, so it's only Antios Gauntlet that can get up to us, and even then it's reduced hit range anyway. They've got no units left at all. Yep, Medical Recall. We were hoping to avoid that, but it happens. You know, they can keep recalling Tipu. He's not got a hit on anyone yet. Like I said, we've got more units in reserve. That Torian Guardian living up to everything I ever hoped for. Okay, so now, see, this is the part where I find it's very difficult knowing what they should be doing from here, because all they're going to do is run away until they just make a move on our captain. And all I'm going to do is place down Spore Mines and run away every turn. So things like here, if we've got line of sight on that, then I'm going to send Crosshair to just try and take out that. Then we're going to place a mine down here, we're going to run up here and maybe even launch ourselves a bit further, and we can start bombarding as well. Yeah, depending on what we hit with the bombardment, we can just do different things, but we can just basically run around back to our castle now. Okay, so now maybe Antios Gauntlet is the one that needs to die. And their Tipu is their last unit. If they don't move Quetzali down... Oh, they've already moved Quetzali. Okay, they're in a lot of trouble then. So just shoot here as an easy choice. I think we're probably best off shooting here. Yeah, we got that off. We'll run away this way. Now, the question is, what do we want to do here? I mean, this seems obvious. Bombard both of those down. And then we can start playing a bit more aggressively. So we can basically move Torian Guardian over here, Florio this way, Beatrice along here. I'm going to move Peacemaker Valve down here to start getting ready to deal with Tipu. And then what do we want to play on our bridge? So again, they've not got much in terms of AoE. I think we just want to hold this still. Just draw our last unit and save that for some big damage coming up. So we could have used our... so they can Vortex actually into range. So this could actually be the beginning of the end if we're not clever, but we can Spore Puff things. We can ride this Spore Puff. This is possibly the longest game I've played of this yet. But barring some very bizarre circumstances... Yeah, this is obviously the Vortex. But yeah, barring some very odd circumstances, I'm pretty sure this is over. Because they're going to grow this, so it gets to 6 health. We've got at least 5 coming back here. And we can reduce accuracy next turn. So let's start with this. And then moving back. Crosshair, 70%, reasonable. Missed, of course. So then we've just placed a Sleeping Mine down here. So this does give Tipu the opportunity to grow again. But if we Okay, we can't quite balance that. We can hit there. So I actually just think we stun Tipu, not take the risk. And bombard. Where can we bombard? So I'm just going to move straight down here and see what's in range of our bombardment. This looks like a good option, because Tipu's probably dead next turn. There we go. Torrent Guardian can just move around this way. I don't know if Crosshair or Spore Puff need to move. So yeah, let's just go with this. Again, this is something we can deal with next turn if we need to, because Crosshair now has the crit, and we can do our maths and finally actually figure out how much the crit damage does in theory. So at some point we're going to have to start poking down Extilior, but the intention is get to a point where that's the only thing they can do anyway. So these guys are going to be running down here and trying to basically use some of their resources as damage. We're hoping to bring in Jailbreak probably next turn to slow down Extilior as well. So here we're going to be able to kill this if they don't have medical recall, which they don't. So they're going to have Vortex next turn, but let's just, it's only 50%. You know what, let's just go no risk. We want to just get this done, 83%. And so it's normally 3. It is double. I thought it would be, but I just wanted to make sure. We'll stun Extilior. We can bombard both again, I believe. Yep. Bombard both. I've got 0% chance from there, so let's just go over this way and do it. 20%. We'll reduce the accuracy of that. Keep moving Beatrice down here. Do you know what? We can just bring in Scattervine. You know what? Scattervine doesn't do much different to actually just playing the Vortex, but let's just play Scattervine here so that it protects us slightly. And then Torrent Guardian wants to move over this way. And as does Florio. Maybe just back here with Balam. So this again could be a big Vortex, but I feel like we're at the point now where all we need to do is just slowly take down their captain. We're going to kill everything else first because they've got nothing in their list. And with the Neck Divines, yep, this is fine. 2 damage on 3 or 4 things. 3. He cannot get in range anyway, I don't believe. Yes, because he's stunned, that was why. Yeah, so we're going to keep on bombarding, and this time we're going to move Florio back again while still moving in from the rear. So get the bombard. Go for the crit. In fact, let's go for move blocking and crits. I'm still confused as to why this is so low, but why have we got reduced chance to hit? Oh, it's Torrent Guardian. Oh, of course it is. What a donut. So let's just change that and go for 95. Get that 6 damage in. Keep moving Torrent Guardian up. I guess we just go for a pot shot here. Doesn't matter if it hits or not. Stick a Sleeping Mine out because they've got a turn before they can do anything with it. And Florio can just move over this way. Peacemaker Balam's been good here, but again, Peacemaker Balam only has 1 target left. So all we're going to do is play Keep Away now. There's no world in which they can get out of this. This can be a hit all they like. They need a crit to even kill it. Yep, this is fine. This was absolutely accounted for. Our bridge has still got 2 very good units here. And I think our plan is probably going to be bombard here. If they don't put the shield onto Torrent Guardian anyway, then that's just done. And then we're going to start just playing Scattervines and Amplifier Bytol to just deal with this at the end. Again, this is a risk. If they're spinning, it's fine. If they're attacking, they're going to take damage back most likely. Yep. 1 for 1. and that puts Florio in lethal range. What a long game. That was great fun. We took absolutely ages to get through that, but that was a really good game. So the whole way through, we were just... This is the problem with the list we played in the last video of a full melee list, is getting kited, getting just killed out of distance, that sort of thing. And I think this really just showed how well, we managed to deal with it. We didn't feel threatened particularly throughout that whole game. It was a very long game, though. That was genuinely, I think, the longest we've ever played. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun. I love games where you feel like you've... Like in Hearthstone, I played Control Druid, things like that, and Mill Druid. So anything, anything that takes the whole game, and you've both used all your resources the whole way through, and you're left with almost nothing, but you've got to the end of both decks, and one of you's got a significant chance of winning. That's the game. I absolutely love that through and through. So I've really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. I really do read every single one of them. I really enjoy it. It gives me a bit of a morale boost. It keeps me interested in playing. Well, I'm interested in playing anyway, but keeps me interested in making these videos. So thank you very much for your feedback, and have a good day.